What's up, guys?
On this week's show,
You've got to thwip it before you stick it.
don't ruin my morning.
And she fighted like a man?
All that and more on this episode
Of One Giant Leap for Geeks.
Cue the music.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for
Geeks. Welcome to another episode of OGLFG, where we talk about movies, video games, and all things in geek culture. I'm your host, Mike C. Squared. And with me is my co-host, DJ Melly Mel.
Hey!
Before we get started, I want to let you know, if you enjoy the show, tell some friends about us. Share us on your social media. Whatever you choose to do, just know that you're helping us let others know about the best damn podcast they probably never heard of. Now, if you want to talk to us, the show is on Twitter at GiantLeap4Geeks, and you can get a hold of our resident DJ Melly Mel at Froggy Beaver, and the missing Benoit is at Benoit Gaming. That's BENWAH Gaming.
If you're like me and around my age, you're a sucker for nostalgia, especially 80s and 90s. I'm talking music, movies, television, games, just pop culture as a whole. So, if you're from mid-Michigan or going to be traveling to the area, I suggest you check out Rewind and Birch Run. Rewind is a vintage-inspired blast from the past with not just cool trinkets and novelty items, but dope gear to rock as well. I'm talking shirts, jackets, caps, and even sneakers. Retro styles to make your inner child smile. Absolutely, positively, definitely check out Rewind. You might even see your boy Benoit copping something old school or shooting the breeze with the owner, Tyler. Rewind is right off of I-75, exit 136 in the Birch Run Premium Outlets, Section E, next to Crocs.
What has the young girl been doing today? I am getting worse at this. I feel like it is like getting
Getting stalker creepy-ish.
like
now.
yeah, like it's downgrading.
I think you're trying too hard.
Yeah, I know. Just let it come naturally next time.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
When you let things flow, it just kind of
Mm-hmm.
more raw emotion, more powerful.
I love how you're like the director in the background. It's like, I need more emotion, Michael. I'm sorry.
I need you to be yourself.
Right. Cry. More tears. Snot. Anyway, what you been doing?
Oh, that hurt. Let's see. What have we been doing? I went camping last week, and I survived a thunderstorm and a crack of lightning that was about 50 feet away from us.
Nice.
We all almost died.
Okay.
It was.
You had to like jump out of the way of the lightning?
Well, see, what had happened was it started.
I love when stories start like that. What had happened was like, oh, this is going
you
to be
can
good.
thank T-Money for that, because that's an original statement from him.
Mhm.
It started raining, and so we put the dog in the car, and she's chilling in the car because she doesn't like the thunderstorms.
Sure.
And then it's just progressively got more steady, like over a 5-minute span. T-Money's down in the lake. He comes running up to the campsite, and our live studio audience was with him. So they come running up, and they're like, okay, we're all standing there underneath the tarp and the tent, and then it just like monsoon winds and giant, like it really looked like something out of a monsoon. We had rain coming in sideways.
It's like, you remember that movie The Day After Tomorrow? It was that.
Yeah. So the tarp come off the tent, and T-Money and I are putting the tarp on top of the tent, and we drop one of the awning things that are over all the picnic tables.
Sure.
We just drop it, and I'm holding on to this awning, which is all metal, and I'm trying to hold the top of it from blowing away. And then it was fine until the crack of lightning come and hit the lake where T-Money was actually swimming, which was like 50 feet from us. And my mom throws her hands up in the car and cracks the door, and she's like, just forget the tent, and if it goes, it goes. And we all jump in the cars, and it was just crazy. Thankfully, none of our tents flooded, except for my cousin's. He left his windows open in his tent, so sucks to be him.
Yeah.
But our tent and my mom's tent, my brother's tent, we had a little bit of water here and there, but it wasn't bad.
I think the important takeaway from this is no one was hurt.
Nobody was hurt.
The tents, I
didn't get electrocuted. So
yeah, which is
let go
always
of
a plus.
that metal rod just in time.
Yeah.
Our studio audience said, nope, forget this. I'll be in the car.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I wouldn't have stayed for that. She's like, "Oh, motherfucker's crazy." Like, I'm getting in the car.
She's like,
we're safe.
Cracked the lightning and the thunder, and sounded like somebody shot a cannon off at us.
Jesus.
But I mean,
so a fun camping trip.
Yeah. It was only one day that it rained. Mm-hmm. We were all right. We all were done.
And you mocked me for.
Hey, I had a good time. I got sunburnt really bad, like I knew I was going to.
Don't this sound like a great time, kids? You too should go camping and get sunburnt and possibly caught in a lightning storm.
But our listeners aren't as albino as I am. Or
you don't know that.
Maybe some of them could be.
I hope somebody got offended at that too. He's like, hey, I take offense to that, ma'am.
I'm sorry,
madam.
That lobster in. I have two colors: Casper the Ghost and Larry the Lobster from SpongeBob. That's
Damn.
It. Like there is no in between.
Damn.
The burn that I got was after 2 applications of sunblock.
Damn.
So, and it was SPF 50.
Damn.
Yeah. So Casper, Larry the Lobster. That's it. That's all I got.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, we're still trying to unpack from that. We just kind of threw the laundry down the stairs and have yet to wash it. But yeah, it happens.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I think that was about it. That's all I really did this week.
Still sounds like an adventure.
It was great. It was great. It wasn't long enough. What about you? What did you do in absence of the DJ Melly Mel here?
I like how you say it like you were some kind of like deity of the DJ Melly Mel.
Yeah.
So I almost blew myself up on the 4th of July.
Why does that not surprise me?
So, and there were literally no fireworks involved at all.
Oh, dear God.
So before anybody goes down that route. So what had happened was, is we were having a bonfire, and we were going to shoot off some fireworks. And
no fireworks were involved. What had happened was we were going to shoot off some fireworks.
Right, but we never got that far.
Oh. Okay.
So A-Train was getting ate up by mosquitoes real bad, like even worse than normal. So she got pissed off and was like, I'm sick of this shit, I'm going inside. Now, prior to that, I had been trying to get the fire started. And I'm usually pretty good about doing these things. Like, I know how to set shit on fire. It's not that hard. And I'm like, kids burn down fucking hospitals and shit all the time. Or I don't know if that actually happens. But anyway, so when I did this particular fire, I was probably a little overzealous. I layered it like a lasagna.
Okay.
So it was like kindling wood, like twigs and dead leaves and shit on bottom, and then like burning wood, and then just, more kindling and burning and kindling and burning. So it was just like a layered lasagna.
How many layers did you have?
About 4, maybe 5.
Oh my.
Probably 5. Anyway, that's not the crazy part. I did not have very much lighter fluid left, and because I layered it and didn't like build it up into like a teepee, it was hard for air to get into it, and I didn't want to keep fucking with it. So I had like little patches of fire burning in it, but it wasn't burning the way it should be, like a full, everything's catching. So I'm run out of lighter fluid completely. And I have some shredded paper because we have a shredder. And I was like, oh, well, this will burn easy. So I put some of that in there. It burns, but it burns out so quick that it doesn't catch anything.
Right.
So I have the idea of, we have kerosene in the house.
Oh, my God.
So I go looking for the kerosene. There's none here. But I remembered that day when you needed gas to go get that car, and it's been in the trunk of my car ever since then. And I was like, I have gasoline in the trunk of my car, and A-Train's like, don't use gasoline on the fire.
No.
Don't. And I was like, I got this. I'm like, I've committed to it. I've put too much effort into it. I'm doing it. So I poured gasoline on the part that's burning. Now, in my mind, I was like, okay, I have to do this in a certain way, and I have to do it quickly because I don't want the flame to catch the gas and follow it back to the tank that's still in my hand. That's not what happened, so you can rest easy on that one. I poured it on there, and fun story about gasoline. The fluid itself is not what you need to worry about, because when I poured it on fire, it actually put it out. It drowned it. Apparently, it is the fumes from the gasoline that you have to be worried about. So I saturated the whole pit with gasoline, and I lit a little piece of paper, and I threw it in there. Still didn't catch it. I'm like, what the fuck is the problem? So I go back to my shredded paper, sprinkle some in there, and I'm like, all right. Oh, also the elongated lighter stick that I had, that ran out of fluid too. So I went and got a little Bic lighter. And I'm like, it's fine. I'm just going to light the little shredded paper and, it'll be fine. So I go, I reach in, I light it, and it fucking explodes.
No shit!
Like, the whole thing just goes poof. I'm pretty sure it looked like a mushroom cloud from space. It was just like this giant fireball went up, and I thought I was on fire. I'm like patting myself and shit, and like running around, making sure I'm not burning, so if I need to drop and start rolling, I can start doing so. I was wearing some new pants that day too, and I was mad because I was worried I would set my pants on fire. But I blew up the fire pit. Everything started burning though. It was burning good after that. I didn't have to touch it no more after that. That shit was just a lava pit after a while. But if you were to look out my little window there is a crop circle around the fire pit of dead grass. Because apparently when the flame went up, it burned all the grass around the fire pit. So we'll just pretend that the audio interface on the table is the fire pit and the circumference of the table is the burn ring around it. It's not quite that big, but it's pretty fucking big. And so, yes, Mike C. Squared was almost dead. And, and yeah, no fireworks were ever lit off at that point.
And of course, me being me, I have to get up and
go check,
investigate this because...
Yeah. So, true story.
Oh, my God.
Oh, and also...
Bill Nye would be very disappointed.
Yes, I know he would. And besides me almost blowing myself up on the 4th of July, I have another little fun thing that happened. Not so fun, kind of frustrating, but it was weird. So, I got an email from YouTube telling me that one of my videos had been copywritten and taken down, and I have a strike on my channel now. Now, if you don't know how YouTube works... You're allowed 3 strikes within, I think, like a 90-day period, and then they just take your channel down. Oh. So that was strike number 1. And I've never had a strike before on our channel. And I got a strike, and the video was taken down, and I go into the details to look at it. And it's from this company called 3 Ants Development and Strategies. Okay. And it said because I used copyrighted material in the episode. Now... if you've listened to any one of our episodes before this, we do little transitions and there's music and stuff like that. I make it a point to always credit the people's music that I use, and I always use like license-free, royalty-free music. So I'm not going to get sued by anybody for using anything. And I try to use just small snippets of it, like 15, 20 seconds at the most. So it's not just like I'm just going to play somebody's song for 10 minutes. But apparently... it got taken down. And so I sent them an email because I was going to dispute it through YouTube, but I was like, I'm going to email this company and find out like what the fuck happened. So I sent them this email. I said, hello, I'm contacting you regarding a copyright claim that was placed on one of my YouTube videos. The video is titled Hellboy, Men in Black, International, and Not My Genie. The video was posted on December 26, 2018. While researching the claim, it seems it was a manual detection because they have algorithms and stuff that will find it and then automatically, knock it. But this was a manual detection. So like a person sat down at a computer and watched the video and was like, this is copyright. So it wasn't like by accident.
Right.
And I said there was no other information as to why it was taken down as opposed to being monetized, nor a description of what the copyrighted material was. If you'd let me know what the material was, I would be happy to change the video. Thank you for your time. And a few days later, I get a response back from them that says, hello, the video and podcast is online again and your channel whitelisted. Best regards, 3 Ants team. And that's it. And they just took the claim off the video and now it's back up. And I'm like,
okay,
what happened? And I went back and listened to that particular episode. And please, if anybody's listening, go back and listen to the Hellboy, Men in Black International, and Not My Genie episode. And if there's something on there that I missed, please let me know because they manually took down a video for something.
Something I said?
No.
Or Ben said?
Or your speech isn't copywritten. No, they're saying that I used some material from some other source.
Well, I know, but if we'd have said a joke that was copywritten, or if we were singing a song,
no. All of that would go under free speech. I could sit here and sing the entire Beatles, fucking discography, and that wouldn't change anything. It's using their actual materials what gets you in trouble. So I'm like, I don't know what it was. They never explained it. They just said, okay, we took off the claim. There you go. And I'm like, all right.
Maybe
So,
they thought they heard something that they went back and they're like,
knows?
yeah, that's not it. Or
So please, if anyone out there has any other information about this company, I kind of skimmed their website and, and I was looking on Twitter a little bit, and they've done this to other people before too, with no real explanation of what the content is. So I'm just curious if anybody out there knows what the deal with that is, and should I worry about these guys? But anyway, everything's back to normal, so I guess success?
like it didn't happen?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. So, yeah, there's that.
Oh, okay.
But anyway,
Moving on.
I can't say I'm surprised that the person who said oxygen wasn't flammable almost blew himself up with a gasoline bonfire.
I tried to give away all I had. My mind was full of my mistakes. I've been too fragile through my life, and I'm missing you so bad.
we have a official poster and our first look at the Mulan live action remake that Disney is doing. And I told you, get your buttholes ready, because Disney, the moment they saw that the Jungle Book did good and Beauty and the Beast and all that shit, they said, we finna go into the vault and we finna remake every fucking thing.
Yep.
So that My Little Toaster movie, you just wait. That shit is coming down the pipes. Or Brave Little Toaster. Yes, that shit is coming down the pipes. You just wait. But honestly, though, after Mulan, I don't know what else. And The Little Mermaid, it's like, what other classic Disney movie can they do that people, like, general audiences know?
Dumbo, so they might as well do Pinocchio, or they've already done a Pinocchio.
They've done Pinocchio, The Nutcracker, Dumbo.
They might as well do Bambi now.
Lion King, Jungle Book, Beauty and the Beast.
Cinderella.
Kind of sort of did Sleeping Beauty with Maleficent, but we'll get there. But everybody's big controversy about
Aladdin,
this,
Little Mermaid.
Yep, is there's no Mushu in the trailer. Apparently, there may be a phoenix instead of the dragon thing, but people aren't happy about that. So, yeah, people are not too hot about this, I guess. And I'm just like, did y'all really want... I think it was Eddie Murphy did the voice. Yeah, back for this, like, whatever, man. Another controversy that I saw was people are upset because it looks like there's not going to be any of the songs from the movie.
Yep.
That they're just going to do, like, instrumental versions of and just play it in background music. So I was like, I guess. A-Train loves Mulan. Like, that Be a Man song, like, she loves that shit. But I mean, I'm not impressed about it.
I like Mulan.
Mm-hmm.
It was never my favorite.
Racist, no.
I didn't say I didn't like Chinese people or Japanese people or Asian people. I said I didn't care for the movie.
I know.
I don't know why. I mean, it was an okay movie, and I like some of the songs in it, but it's just...
I know for me, I had kind of aged out of the Disney animated movies by the time Mulan and like Hercules and stuff came out. I was on to anime by that point. Like, I was balls deep in Dragon Ball Z by the time that shit started coming out. So
I remember the last pair of shoes that I could buy in the kids section was Mulan shoes. They were white shoes and they had pink around them and they had Mulan on the side.
It said Be a Man.
And they had Velcro and they said Mulan. And they had Mushu on the little Velcro.
Okay.
I think I was in like the 3rd grade.
But other than that, the movie
grade.
didn't...
Yeah, no. I just...
Yeah, and I don't have anything against it. Like, I haven't seen it all the way beginning to end. I've seen chunks of it here and there because other people were watching it or it was just on. But I've never just sat down and was like, I'm going to watch Mulan today.
I mean, it's not one of the movies where you just kind of, hey, we're going to have a Disney date. All right, what's up on the list? All right, we got Little Mermaid, we got Aladdin. Let's watch Mulan.
Yeah,
It's not...
But I know it is beloved by a lot of people, though, because a lot of people do like that movie. So, not taking anything away from that. I mean, from what I have seen of it and what I can remember of it, I did like it. So I just have never just watched it beginning to end. I think as far as this trailer goes, that visually it looks really good. Like all the cinematography, the way it's filmed, especially like with I am a whore for color in movies. So, like, that's why I loved Black Panther so much, because of all the colors and shit in that.
Yeah.
And, well, that's not the only reason, but one of the reasons. And I was like, oh, look at these pretty colors, girl. But that's another thing that's drawn me to this is just all the colorful stuff with like the geishas and like the soldiers, and just Asian culture has a lot of fun colors and stuff in it anyway. So I was really drawn to that watching the trailer, and I was like, if I didn't know this was Mulan, I would think that this is like a period piece kind of movie thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it was based off of some actual thing, because they're playing it pretty realistic. Like it's not.
Parts of Mulan was based off, like the cartoon was actually based off of certain events.
Okay.
I mean, they took big chunks and elaborated them, obviously, because they're Disney. But
right.
I mean, there were certain parts.
Okay.
Yeah,
because have you ever seen that movie, The Last Samurai?
Yes.
Okay, it reminded me of that. I like that movie. I know you don't like Tom Cruise, but
no, I do like Tom Cruise. I just don't like him when he's in a weird role like that.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't like the whole white savior thing. Like, oh, now that we got this white dude, now we can defeat the ninjas and shit.
The plot line of that was a little.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this alcoholic, PTSD-ridden white man is gonna come here and teach us how to fight. Like, no. But all that aside, it gave me vibes of that movie. Mm-hmm. My biggest takeaway though is that the fight choreography is on point.
Yes.
Like all the sword fighting shit, and like they have the shot where she's like flipping in the air in slow motion and cutting some dude up the middle, and I was like, that's dope. Like I want to see that. Like I am really hardcore into like, kung fu movies. Yeah. Like I love anything Jackie Chan or Jet Li or somebody like that is in. Like the Raid movies, I love those. I love Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I even still kind of sort of like that hero movie with Jet Li where they kill him at the end. But anyway, so any of that wire work, like stunt choreography shit that you see in a lot of like Asian movies, like I'm all about that. So if nothing else is going to get me to go see this, I just want to see the fights.
That's fair. I mean, I went into Aladdin with very low expectations, and it went above and beyond.
Okay.
For this I don't really follow the cartoon, but I think I'd be more apt to enjoy the live action as opposed to something else where, I love the cartoon and hate the live action.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, like the quote unquote source material isn't important to you as far as this goes. Right. I got you. I feel that.
But it looks like a good movie, like you said. The stunts and the choreography and all that, it looks good. It looks like it's filmed well.
Yeah, and I like the actress that they got to play Mulan. Though I'm not sure how she's gonna pass for a boy, because I was like, she too pretty in the face to be like, oh, it's a pretty man. You got a purty mouth, boy. Like,
oh my God.
I'm like, I don't really know how that's gonna fly, but we'll see.
God. I'm kind of anxious to see like how she. Because she is such a strong character, how they play her out. I'd like to see her more of a strong character and less, dumbed down to fit the persona of the quote-unquote male character that she's supposed to portray.
Yeah. That's going to be interesting how they play that. But I'm surprised we're getting a trailer so soon, because this doesn't come out until next year.
Yeah.
Like March 2020.
I think that they're going to end up moving the date up.
Like sooner?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think we'll probably see this late this year. Maybe December.
We'll see. Because I was really surprised at, like when it was coming out. I'm like, wow, March 27th, 2020. So mark your calendars, kids, because Mulan is coming for that ass.
I mean, I saw some Batman pictures floating around the internet lately, so...
Okay. All right. I don't even want to go down there rabbit hole. Okay. All right. Moving on.
Mulan grossed over $304 million worldwide. It is also number 11 on IMDb's 100 Greatest Disney Movies list. So I'd say that makes it pretty beloved.
I have not seen the first Maleficent.
You should.
But this trailer makes me want to.
You should. The first one is actually... I'm not a fan of Sleeping Beauty.
Mm-hmm.
She's very boring to me. Maleficent, however, was good. T-Money liked Maleficent.
Ooh,
so...
okay. All right. So, because I know that it's loosely based on the Sleeping Beauty story, but they kind of did their own take on it in the first one. And with this one, it seems like the story is completely going in its own direction now. Like, this is not going to be anything related to the Sleeping Beauty myth that we know. This is what happens after, quote unquote, I guess.
There was... Basically, the first Maleficent is from Maleficent's point of view, not the princess.
Mm-hmm.
And this one seems to... This behind the scenes of what happened when, the screen went off.
Sure, right.
Is kind of what this is going on.
Right. Like a sequel to the Sleeping Beauty. Or basically, what the further adventures of Maleficent.
Right. It's stuff that we didn't necessarily see, but we might have been made aware of loosely.
Sure.
So, I mean, I don't know. It looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I was watching the trailer in the middle of work.
Yeah, no, it looks actually pretty boss in some parts. Like, my biggest takeaway is Angelina is looking sexy again. Thank God somebody finally gave this bitch a sandwich and some pretzels or some shit, because she was looking like sick.
Yeah, she was.
For a while. Like, I don't know if because she was going through that divorce with Brad or she just was struggling with some shit, but she was getting so skinny to where, like, she looked like the Crypt Keeper or some
she
shit.
Did for a little bit, yeah.
Like, mummified skinny. And I was just like, ooh, like, baby, you need a Lunchable or something, because goddamn. But she looks healthy again, so... And I don't know, they might have just CG'd some meat on her bones or some shit, I don't know.
No, because she had, I think by the time Maleficent the First came out...
Is that what they call it? Maleficent the First?
No, that's what I'm calling it. Copyrighted by One Giant...
Right.
No, by the time the first Maleficent movie come out, she did have some meat on her bones. I mean, you could see that they really enhanced her cheekbones.
Oh, yeah, because I was like, there is no way in hell.
No, I think they said that she either had crazy, 6 hours of makeup to get them cheekbones, or possibly a prosthesis for the cheekbone part.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, they said that they made her gain some weight for the role of Maleficent, because she's a heftier... Not hefty character, but...
Yeah, I get what you're trying to say.
She can't be a rail thin character.
Yeah, she has to be, imposing and menacing and all that shit. Yeah, so good job on the bologna sandwich. Thank you for that, because damn. But I forgot that Angelina's already hanging at the Mouse House, so... Bringing her into the Eternals movies, that may actually be legit, because they were reporting, she's going to be in a Marvel movie. And I was like, no, she ain't. Angelina Jolie ain't finna go do this. Not it's beneath her or some shit, but I'm just I just don't see her doing that. And I thought, I was like, well, she wasn't Wanted. And she did play Tomb Raider. So she's not, above, action-y, kind of popcorny movies. But I was just I don't know if she's going to do the Marvel thing. But then when this came out, I was like, that's right. She's already doing shit for Disney. So... it wouldn't be a stretch to be like, hey, you want to come be in a Marvel movie? Do I want a Marvel paycheck? Yes, thank you.
I think everybody wants a Marvel paycheck.
Hell yeah. They said, how much did they pay Robert Downey Jr. to do this shit? And look, I'll be in 30 of these bitches. But yeah, I mean, as far as this goes, though, I mean, I like that they're building out the world of, Maleficent, for lack of a better word. You find out that there's other creatures like her.
Yeah.
And that, there's this whole other backstory to her being that you don't know about. Because the first one, even though I know I didn't see it, but from what I understand of it at least, this is her backstory and her perspective and everything. So in this, you're getting even more shit that she wasn't even aware of per se. So I thought that was interesting.
I like that Disney's kind of shifting the focus. I mean, we all know the princess stories.
Yeah,
we've all heard them our entire lives.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice to see how other characters in said princess stories actually, have lives too.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I'm alone on this. We should take a poll on Twitter or something.
Yeah.
But I like hearing the backstories of everybody else involved, and it's not just the princess.
That, and it gives the characters more dimension, and they feel like real people.
Right.
As opposed to just like, I'm the prince. And it's like, is that it? Like, do you have any other personality traits?
Do you have a name?
Nope. I got a sword, and I'm brave. Like, okay.
Right.
Well, I'm
why
glad
do we
I
like
asked.
you,
Yeah.
and why are we approving for you to marry our princess?
Yeah. And I like that they brought Michelle Pfeiffer in this, and they making her like a villainous type character. Like she would traditionally be the good queen or whatever.
I think she was in the first one too.
Is she? Okay. See,
I don't
need to
remember.
go back and watch it.
It's been a while.
But I'm interested to see the dynamic and how that changes between the princess and Maleficent. Because it's like she wants to, she raised her and protected her or whatever,
right.
But then now she kind of wants to have a more traditional, normal life, and Maleficent feels like she's losing something. And then that, the real mother is like, okay, now we're ready to take her in, and this, that, and she's like, bitch, like, no, I did all the heavy lifting and shit, like, the fuck? Like, she went off in that fucking throne room and at the table and shit, she killed everybody. She like, no, fuck all this, we out. And she's like, no, I'm not coming with you. And she looked at her like, bitch.
She's like, did you hear what I said?
Right. She's like, did you not see all them dead bodies on the floor over there? Bring your ass here. We leaving. Like, fuck the bullshit. I did like the very opening scene, though, where she's like on the mountain and the crow comes to her. And he's like, oh, mistress. And she turns around and she was like, don't ruin my morning. And I was like, okay. I was like, all right. I need to go back and watch Maleficent because I've been sleeping on this, apparently.
Yeah. You missed out.
Clearly. And like I said, I was just happy to just see Angelina Jolie not look like she was on her deathbed.
So we have all these live actions, right? Next live action, Moana.
Ooh.
With The Rock as Maui.
Well, he already did it. But...
I know. That's
but the real Rock.
The real
okay.
Rock.
Oh, okay. Not
physical Dwayne Johnson.
No, because you got to give it another 10, 15 years before they'll go do that one. Because it hasn't got nostalgia yet. It's too soon. Yeah. They're gonna milk all this shit from the 90s first.
I still want to see it. Yeah, okay. That's true. They're hitting that.
Yeah.
Going back and hitting them 90s live action Hercules. No, please don't do that.
Oh, it's coming.
We've already had like 6 of them.
It's 7.
Not Disney
it's coming.
ordained, but we've had the story of Hercules.
Oh yeah, I know. But it's coming. You just wait. But no, Maleficent 2 comes out October 18th of this year, so that is just a few months away.
That is. God, I can't believe it's almost October.
Yeah, well...
We're already halfway through July.
Yeah, just about.
Well, a third of the way through
July. Close. All right, moving on.
Master, it's not funny to body shame someone. Did you ever think that she may be battling an eating disorder? Or maybe she was having bouts of severe depression which kept her from eating. Maybe she was deathly ill. You don't know her fucking life.
I did not know that Nick Jonas was in the Jumanji franchise. How have I not seen this already? I love Nick Jonas. Okay, I don't love Nick Jonas.
Jumanji?
The original Jumanji with Robin Williams.
The 94 Jumanji.
That's the only Jumanji I've ever gave a fuck about. No, I have not seen Game Over or whatever it was called.
Welcome to the Jungle.
Oh, okay, whatever. Yeah, Jumanji. That's what the subtitle should have been. Jumanji. We got The Rock this time. Like that, and that's all I need to put
We
up.
just watched it yesterday.
See,
I come home from work and T-Money was watching it.
See, I need to... Another one that I need to go back and watch, apparently.
You need to watch it. Oh my god, Jack Black is hilarious.
I saw the trailer for it, and I was like, oh, okay, this could be funny. All the way until Kevin Hart popped up, and I was like, nope. Nope. I do not like him and The Rock together. I don't know what people's obsession with them two together is.
I don't necessarily like them together.
I don't like Kevin Hart, though. He is...
Is Kevin Hart your Will Ferrell?
Will Ferrell is my Will Ferrell, but
okay,
yeah,
fair.
Kevin Hart is also my Will Ferrell. And they were in a movie together, too, I feel like.
Kevin Hart and Will Ferrell? Yeah, Get Hard.
Yes. Oh, my God. There's funny parts to that movie, but I don't know. I find Kevin Hart to be very grating.
Okay.
And obnoxious. and loud.
He is, and in this movie, he's supposed to be.
And he screams a lot.
Yeah.
And like everything, and I'm just like...
He's like today's version of Chris Rock.
You take that back. I thought you was going to say Chris Tucker. I was like, you bite your fucking tongue.
No.
Don't you dare say that.
He's today's version of Chris Rock.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
But in the Jumanji movie, regardless, that's the character he's supposed to play.
Sure.
He's supposed to play like he...
Whatever happened to the other 2 feet of my body? I eat cake and blow up. I was like, oh my God, man. I'm sorry. Continue. I'm sorry.
He's like this big linebacker football player dude in real life, and then when he gets sucked into the game, he like... Kevin Hart's like 4'11".
Yeah.
And he's running around with a backpack.
Yeah. Why I'm running so slow? I don't want to get on your back to rock.
Get over it and go watch it.
I know. I'm just
hilarious.
being a bitch about it now.
I'm quite excited to see Danny Glover in something.
Yes.
So his old ass.
I love Danny DeVito and Danny Glover, and anything that Danny DeVito is in, I co-sign it, so it gets my seal of approval. So I'm gonna see it just because I love Danny DeVito.
And so technically, like, Danny DeVito gets sucked in and he becomes The Rock.
Yeah,
I think that transition is going to be hilarious.
Yeah, I do like the way The Rock is trying to play some of his mannerisms and things like that. You know, I know he did that with the kid in the first one too, but because it's Danny DeVito and because we know him, it's funny to see. But again, they got Kevin Hart playing Donald Glover, and I'm gonna put on my old
Danny Glover.
I'm sorry, not Donald, Danny. I swear to God, he's his fucking son, and they just won't admit it. Anyway, like, I know Childish Gambino was your son. Like, yeah, fuck him. Yeah, his mama ain't shit. Stole my last name, but won't let me see him. But anyway, I just don't. It's like this was just an excuse for Kevin Hart to be like, nah, I get to do my old black man voice. Nah. Oh, what is this here game you talking about, son? I'm like, oh God. Okay, he's not quite that bad, but I don't like Kevin Hart, so it's hard for me to get past him. And everything I see him in, I'm like, I want to give this a chance. Okay. And then he come on the screen, and I'm like, no.
This is gonna outshine Kevin Hart. Hot redhead.
Yeah, it didn't do it for me for the first one. So, I mean, Karen Gillan is pretty hot. And you know that's the girl who plays Nebula, right?
Yes, I know.
And I'm like, God damn, that's what she looked like under all that fucking bald head and blue shit they got on this bitch. I was like, okay, I see you.
She looks like Rachel Lee Cook. Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah, I can see why you would say that. Yeah.
Like, when I first saw Nebula, I thought she was Rachel Lee Cook. And I was like, okay, well, did they dig her up underneath? But then I went back and I was like, that's not Rachel Lee Cook. Her. They look very similar, though. No,
I like, though, because in the trailer, they don't explain, or maybe I just missed it, but they don't say who the kid is in, though, right now, right? Because they go in there looking for him.
No, but you can kind of see who he is.
Who is he?
Okay, so the kid that goes
Is
back...
he Nick Jonas?
Yes!
Oh, is he? Yes. But wait, Nick Jonas is in the first one, though, right?
Yes, Nick Jonas is in the first one. And the kid that gets sucked into the game that is portrayed by Nick Jonas is a kid that got sucked into the game 20 years before the other four.
Okay. So did they free him?
They freed him when they finished the game.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. See, spoiler. I haven't seen it, so I don't care. But anyway, no,
Yeah, when they finish the game, they all come out together.
I got
you.
Like they
did in the original.
Okay, and the Robert Williams Jumanji. Okay,
right.
All right. Fair enough. But with this, I'm sorry, I haven't seen it. I don't know. But I have discovered that The Rock continues his bid for starring in the most film franchises ever.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like his bid for world domination is at like peak, like intensity. So let's go over this. Mm-hmm. He's in the Fast and Furious movies.
Yes.
Now he has his own Fast and Furious spin-off movie.
Yep.
He was in the Mummy movies.
Yep. No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
He was in the Scorpion King movie.
Yeah.
But he wasn't in all three movies.
No, he doesn't have to be in all three. He's not in all the Fast and Furious movies either.
No, but he's in like 5 of them.
He's in 2 of the Mummy movies. He was in the Mummy, I don't know if it was Returns. And then he was in the Scorpion King spinoff movie. Because remember at the end he comes out with the crab arms and all that shit?
Okay.
Yeah.
So he did 2 Mummy movies.
He he did a Hercules movie that didn't go nowhere.
Yes, he did. That was actually a pretty good movie.
He's in Rampage. I think they're trying to make a Rampage too.
Yep, he was in Rampage.
I'm not just going off his list of movies. I'm trying to think of like movies that got sequels or potentially are getting sequels. He's in the DCEU for whatever that's worth, I guess, because he's supposed to be Black Adam.
Oh yeah,
Shazam's villain, which he was supposed to pop up in Shazam, but I don't know if they ever figured that shit out or not.
I don't know. I don't think I saw Shazam.
He's not in it, but like Black Adam is like mentioned and seen, and I guess it's supposed to be The Rock, but I don't know. But yeah, he just I feel like every time I look up, he's in another fucking movie. Or a new franchise or some shit. Like, the fact that Marvel hasn't talked him into doing some shit, he probably want too much money. They probably like, man, you can go keep driving those stupid ass cars. Like, we ain't finna, nah. Listen, now that we done with Robert Downey Jr., everybody's getting like half of what he was getting because fuck the bullshit at most.
I don't know. Where would they bring him in the MCU? They could have him be one of the X-Men. He could be...
Colossus. No, because people be mad because he wasn't Russian. Make him Juggernaut. That'd
there you go.
Oh, The Rock is Charles Xavier. You put him in a wheelchair. He's already bald. Come on, man. Couldn't you see him wearing Cerebro? Okay.
He would tip that damn wheelchair.
I know, right?
He'd be like, all right.
The motor would be smoking and shit when he's trying to drive it. Like, he's too heavy. Get your big ass out of this shit.
Bloop.
Anyway, but no, it does look funny, but I mean, Kevin Hart still annoys me, so it's hard for me to I know I'm biased and an asshole.
That you didn't like Kevin Hart. That's I love Kevin Hart. I think he's hilarious.
No, I
but
can't.
I mean, he is comparable to today's Chris Rock, so he's like in everything and not necessarily funny in everything that he's in.
If you say so. But
although I thought Chris Tucker was overrated in the 90s too. So.
Man, don't you bite your tongue. You bite your tongue. Rush Hour is the best buddy comedy that has ever been made.
I hate Rush Hour.
Fucking fight me, all right?
Hate Rush Hour.
All right, we're done.
You and T-Money, man.
Podcast is canceled. Fuck this shit.
Can't be associated with neither one of y'all. Can't marry him. Can't come hang out with you. No. Our studio audience is throwing her hands up. She's out. She's like, nope, fuck you. I'm with Mike.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think she's on my side.
Yeah, I know she's on your side.
But Jumanji, the next level or whatever the fuck they were called, Jumanji 3 is coming out December 13th of 2019. So that
this year,
yeah, so that will be your Christmas present this year, kids. Is Jumanji, what you've all been waiting for.
I'll say, if you hear the drums, run the other way.
Oh my god.
Do not play the game.
All right, moving on.
What if I told you that you are someone else's Kevin Hart? At least people pay to hear him talk.
It's one of a kind. There's something special about your love. I want it all the time.
I am angry and I am offended, okay, about this Little Mermaid casting news.
Really?
I am livid. This girl needs to change her fucking name. Because I swear to God, for a week, I've been thinking Halle Berry is going to play Ariel in The Little Mermaid. And I'm just like, really? Like, that's kind of weird. I was like, what are they going to get Idris Elba to be the fucking prince? I was like, they kind of aging older with this, casting. But I was like, hey, Halle Berry's sexy. I'll take it. Like, I don't care about the race change or whatever.
Know. She could rock some red.
No, the young girl, the actress's name is Halle Bailey. And for this whole time, I've been like, Halle Berry's... I'm pretty sure I've told people at work, like, man, you hear Halle Berry finna play a Little Mermaid? Yeah, that's crazy, ain't it? And I'm like...
Be like, bitch, I said Halle Bailey.
I should be so ashamed of myself. I am. She got to change her fucking name. It can't be Halle.
The scene in The Waterboy where the dude's like, dude, Joe Montana's gonna do this. He's like, Joe Montana was quarterback. He's like, I said Joe Montana. That's you.
Yeah. I mean, Bailey. I mean, it's an easy slip of the tongue. You could just say, I meant to say Bailey, but
she's pretty.
Yeah, but no. But I have legit thought Halle Berry was going to play Ariel in The Little Mermaid for
brought to you now
a week Disney. Now. I swear to God.
We acquired the X-Men, so Storm is
right.
Ariel.
Oh, shit, son. They totally should have did that. Total missed opportunity.
Yep.
Now they got to get Halle Berry to play Ursula.
Nah.
Yeah.
I saw a thing where Queen Latifah was photoshopped in as Ursula, and she looked damn good as Ursula. I could work with that.
I could see it. I could see it. But I mean, she ain't gotta be heavy set just to play Ursula. She just gotta be an evil bitch.
No, she just the look that they had on her face.
I guess.
It didn't have nothing to do with her being heavy set. You know she's gonna be all CG'd anyway.
Yeah, it's true, probably.
So, but just like her body structure, aside from her being heavy set, like she had the face, and they had like the purple makeup on her, and like the mole on the side of her face.
Yeah.
Whomever compiled that, it looked really good, and I was like,
yeah, and Queen Latifah sings and raps and shit, so they can do a hip hop version of,
voice.
you know, Pure Unfortunate Soul, and yeah.
Hey, it worked for Will Smith, so.
Oh my God. But other than the confusing who this actress is, because I swear, like, even when I read it, all I see is Halle Berry. I see Halle B, and I immediately just erase everything else and is Berry. I don't even see Bailey.
I want to say, you got a throck off for Halle Berry, or what?
Hell yeah, have you not seen Monsters Ball?
Oh, no, I mean just on your brain recently.
Oh, no.
Of course Halle Berry's sexy as hell.
No. But
have you seen Catwoman?
Yeah, it's a horrible movie, but she looks very good in it. She looked good in John Wick 3 though too.
Yeah,
she was popping in that.
Fuck, she looked good in that.
I can't think of anything Halle Berry doesn't look good in, to be honest.
What is that damn James Bond movie?
James Bond?
Die Another Day.
Oh, okay. I'm like, which one? There's like 100, so I'm like,
the one with Pierce Brosnan, which comes out of the water, and the orange bikini with the belt.
And
Yeah,
then the boobs and the belt.
Yep. The boobs are all bouncing out. Yep.
Anyway, because I'm getting distracted.
Right. We're gonna have a cleanup on
right,
Mike.
Right. So like I've just been seeing a lot of people complain about this, like always, like when they made Zendaya, MJ in the Spider-Man movies. When they changed, when they made Heimdall and Thor, when they made him Idris Elba, they're like, Nordic gods wouldn't be black and blah, 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 racism, bigotry, blah, 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 SJW cuck, blah, 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 snowflake, beta cuck, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, who gives a fuck?
Right. Just,
if
they're a good actor, let them play.
Like, I don't get at this point why people still trip about that shit. I mean, look. When they were talking about recasting Ben Affleck as Batman, and they threw out Michael B. Jordan's name, I was like, yeah, I'd go see that shit in a heartbeat.
Right.
Like, I get it. There are characters who've been around for a while and super iconic, and I know it does bother people to change something about them, especially something so drastic as their ethnicity, but a lot of this shit was made when white people were the quote-unquote default demographic.
Right.
So it's like, well, of course they were white because they were made in a predominantly white country by predominantly white people in a, predominantly white people-owned company. So, of course they were going to make them fucking white unless they absolutely had to, and they made a Pocahontas or Mulan or some shit. And it was like, okay, I guess we can, do a different ethnicity. But I'm like, kudos to Disney. Like, go ahead, do your thing. Like, I saw a girl on Twitter was holding a copy of the DVD in her hand, and she was like, we deserve a race accurate Ariel, and Disney, I can't believe you, and this is going in the trash. And I'm like, you already paid for this shit. It's just like these stupid motherfuckers who was burning their Nikes and shit. Right. It's like, they already got your money, man. Like, you ain't hurting them.
Do with the product after the fact.
I'm like, and it's not like you're not gonna go see it,
right?
Because you are. Like, that movie's gonna make $1 billion fucking dollars. Like, I don't even need to, like...
Because it's got the stamp of the mouse.
Yeah, or even when people were getting upset about them casting all black actors for the Lion King movie. I'm like, it's in Africa, man! Like, what are you... And I get it, they're animals, so it don't matter, but I'm just like, the only black person in the original Lion King... No, there was 2 black people that I know for a fact.
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones and the guy who played Rafiki. I'm blanking on his name right now.
Yeah.
But that's it. Everybody else is... Matthew Broderick played
Ferris Bueller
Simba.
himself.
Ferris Bueller played King Jafar's fucking son. That's from Coming to America.
Yeah.
But anyway... I wish all the best to this little girl. Don't ignore all these fucking haters and shit. Like, I don't even...
I've seen some really cool fan art.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I don't
as
even
her
know
as
who the
Ariel,
girl
yeah.
is. Everybody's like, oh my god, I don't like her. I
But
don't know who she is.
my thing is this, though. Like, Ariel was portrayed, at least, in Mermaid's tradition, are portrayed this way, as, like, you know, very sexy.
Uh-huh.
And she just looked too young to be in a seashell bikini. Yeah. And, you know, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. They're probably going to change her look some. But I'm just like, I don't want to go to jail for watching this movie, man. Like, I had a boner for Ariel when I was a kid. So I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, if she's 18, it's whatever. But
to be fair, for you saying that you had a boner for Ariel when you were younger, it's kind of weird anyway.
No, I had a boner just like the priest that married them at the end of the movie. I don't know, it's funny. People say it's his knee, but if you look real close at that scene, that is his dick. I don't care what they say.
Because Ariel herself was only 15 or 16.
Yeah, but she was older than me at that point, so it's cool.
Well, that's true.
It's cool.
That's true. If
anything, she'd go to jail.
I was like, if you were popping a boner now for Ariel, then be like,
Yeah. Wait, she was really that young?
Yeah.
Well, if anything, fuck the bullshit. The prince need to be going to jail. Because
Right.
I know he wasn't 16. That
Hell
dude looked older. He looked about 25. So fuck that. Like, he married a 15-year-old.
Yep, she was 15 or 16.
No wonder King Triton was mad at that shit. He's like, hell no. That's about baby shit. This bitch literally just got out of middle school like last year. Fuck you. Hell no, you ain't marrying that motherfucker.
Yeah.
No, they did not draw the prince to look 15.
No, he wasn't meant to.
He was a grown-ass man.
And
Ain't that a bitch?
Most people don't realize that she was 15 or 16.
Oh, well, because it wasn't her birthday in the movie? Okay, yeah. And that's how she got the comb or some shit, right?
The fork?
Yeah. Oh, and she thought it was a comb. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. I need to go back and watch
hopper?
that. Yeah. But see, I'm like, this is my thing, though. If people want to complain and cry racism or some shit because they changed the ethnicity of Ariel, I'm like, did you see The Little Mermaid? Are we going to ignore the fact that they got some stereotypical ass Jamaican dude to do the voice of fucking the crab? Yeah. I'm like, man, this motherfucker had the thickest fucking Jamaican accent, and it was like, why? And he was like the comedic relief and shit. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the song Kiss the Girl, like, just because he got that thick ass Jamaican accent, it makes it so much better.
Speaking of Kiss the Girl, since we're going all out on this damn mermaid thing,
mm-hmm.
I have a multitude of Disney songs on my Spotify.
Sure.
Which shouldn't surprise anybody.
No.
And I listened to Kiss the Girl the other day on my way home from work.
Kiss the girl.
And if you actually listen to the words,
mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that people are not like in an uproar about this because
he's basically saying rape her.
Well, pretty much, like, not necessarily to the fact of that, but like he's like, it's okay, you don't have to ask her, just kiss her.
Yeah, he's like,
no consent at all.
It's like she won't talk until you kiss her,
right.
So you gotta go
ahead.
Not
gonna say nothing.
Yeah, it's like, like, and her first word is gonna be, "Get the fuck off of me!"
Right.
Like, what do you think this is? I'm not a whore. I'm 15.
Right.
Eric.
I'm a child.
You're 35. Get the fuck off of me.
Yeah, I was sitting there and I was listening to it and it felt real rapey like, and I'm like,
dare you
let
see
me take
her
this off Spotify because this is
out
creeping
on
me
the
out.
couch.
I do that from time to time. You know, I get a earful of a song that I've heard forever or something that's catchy.
Oh yeah.
And then I go back and I actually listen to it.
What did I say?
And there was one I stopped listening to because it said something about I know we're getting way off topic, but
mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was like, take her out to the barn and hold her down. And I was like,
whoa,
hey, bye.
All right, get your alibi right, too. It's like, tell your friends you were hanging with them this whole time.
Yeah.
If the police come, yell. But
this craziness.
But with this, though, now there's all these, like, memes and shit that I've been seeing pop up. Like, they had one for Bambi, and it was one of the T-Rexes from Jurassic World.
Did you see? I think the worst one was the Batman one.
No, I didn't see that one. No.
Okay, so it's got a guy dressed as Batman in a nice Batman costume. So the dude spent money for it. And then his son is in a Robin costume. Also spent money for it. It wasn't like a cosplay costume or like a cheap Walmart costume. Or
sure,
like
right,
that.
Right.
And it's a white dude and his little boy. And then across it says they've been planning this the whole time. And then on the bottom of the meme is a black dude and his son, also dressed as Batman and Robin. You could clearly tell that they made their costumes, like, from some stuff laying around the house.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And I just looked at them and I'm like, that's fucked up.
Yeah, that's not...
Like, they were comparing it to the Little Mermaid thing.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
The top bar was like, this is how we feel. And then it had the middle one was the white guy and his son, and the bottom one was the black guy and his son. And I'm like, kind of fucking shit is that?
Yeah, and it's like the connotation is like, oh, it's not a problem, or part of the problem is because they changed their race, and it's going to be like a cheap version of that. And it's
right. That's the general consensus.
No, I mean, look, I
like I said, I saw some fan art coming around, and some people have some really good ideas of what she could look like as the mermaid.
Yeah, and I'm sure after seeing Aquaman, like they can do all kind of shit with special effects and underwater shit. So it's like, hey man, like I'm looking forward to it.
I am too. I think it looks interesting.
I think my favorite thing about this though is the other casting, like not rumors, but like just fan casting, like fantasy casting people have started to do.
I say, did you see the one of Idris Elba as King Triton?
Yes, but our boy, Flint Town's own Terry Crews wants to be King Triton. And I was like, I don't care what y'all got to do, make that shit fucking happen. Like, if y'all do not make Terry Crews King Triton, I'm going to be mad as hell.
Can you see him playing a piccolo and, like, popping his pecs?
Hell yeah, man, shit. He's holding his spear and shit, and he twerking and popping and locking like, hell yeah. Make that happen.
That would be awesome.
Make that shit happen. Hell yeah. Since you got to get the Queen Latifah shit out of your head.
Okay,
right?
Fair enough.
And I'll drop the Halle Berry thing.
Okay.
Who do we want for Ursula? And it don't have to be a black woman. Ursula's purple, so it's like she ain't even a part of the rest of the Sea Kingdom, really.
Ursula
she got that octopus pussy, so she ain't even. She don't count.
Ursula was based on a
octopussy. Anyway,
I'll say that's a James Bond.
That is a James Bond movie or character name.
It's
or
a James
something.
Bond movie.
Okay. They got away with some shit back in the day.
Yeah, they did.
You could never put Octopussy in theaters today and put that shit up on a billboard like Octopussy this summer. Like, the fuck it is. Anyway, go ahead.
Ursula was actually based off of a drag queen. The character for Ursula.
RuPaul as Ursula this summer. Get ready, bitches. No.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know any other famous drag
I don't know. We
queens,
went and we saw a drag show right before we went on vacation, and there was one there that she could have definitely
got the hair and the mole and shit. Probably
she did. She had the mole. Mm-hmm. I don't remember her name. Amber something. I think.
It don't matter.
I don't know.
I don't know who you talking about. I'm like, it don't matter. It ain't gonna change
our studio audience will help us, but she's not giving off any hints here. So
I think. Like, if I had a choice and I could choose, I would want to see. I got it. You give Angelina Jolie a bunch of sandwiches, and if she can play Ursula and Maleficent. No, okay.
She's too tall.
No,
Danny DeVito is Ursula.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, hey, look, these motherfuckers, when they change their ethnicity, they might as well make Ursula a man, too. Oh, you know what? And I know drag queens and transgender women are two separate things. I'm not trying to conflate those things together. Right. But it made me think when you said that Ursula was like based on like a, cross-dressing drag queen person. Uh-huh. They should get the chick from Orange is the New Black. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about. I forget her name, but it's a transgender woman, and I think that she would be a good Ursula. So if anybody knows who I'm talking about, that's my pick.
I think somebody had told me they were trying to get Melissa McCarthy to be Ursula, and I was just like,
get the fuck out of here, man.
No, I do not.
That's my other Kevin Hart. Will Ferrell, or Kevin Hart is my Will Ferrell, and Melissa McCarthy is my Kevin Hart. Like, no.
I like Melissa McCarthy, but I don't think that she'll be able to play this serious, dark, and sinister that is Ursula.
No.
And I really don't want them to make Ursula like, hi, kids. Like,
I fell down because I'm fat and clumsy. Like,
Yeah, I
oh
don't
my
want
god,
that.
everything she's in, that's her whole shtick. I'm fat and clumsy.
Yeah.
And I
don't-
swear a lot. And I was like, that I liked you better when you were in the Gilmore Girls, and I don't even like that show.
I forget she's in the Gilmore Girls.
Yeah. Like every season, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what they said, is that Melissa McCarthy's rumored, and I really hope that
A-Train, come here.
I hope that is just strictly fan talk.
What is the name of the transgender woman on Orange is the New Black?
I know who you're talking about. I don't know her name.
All right, go.
Her face has been in my head.
Be gone, thought. You ain't helping. Anyway, but that would be my pick for Ursula for the Little Mermaid movie.
Okay.
And like I said, as long as it's Laverne Cox, thank you. But as long as it's a good movie, I don't care.
Right.
I don't care who they cast. If they want to make the Prince Asian dude, I don't give a fuck. Can we please make their ages closer though than what they were? Because that is like statutory rape. All right.
Yeah.
Like, god damn. I forget that she was that fucking young. That motherfucker is like 50.
You know what's funny is the only reason I actually know that is because I saw like a Disney breakdown thing of they had like each princess and how old they were in their story and how old they were supposed to be, and like I don't know, hers just stuck out. I can't remember the rest of them. Most of them were 18, but hers is just boom, 15, 16. I'm like, And then she runs off and gets married, and then she looks 35 in the sequel. So
I don't co-sign that shit. Anyway, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. We don't have a release date yet. We don't have any more casting news so far besides Ariel, but I have enjoyed, from what I've seen so far of the Disney live action remakes, I've enjoyed them. So I didn't see Beauty and the Beast, but I did see the Jungle Book, and I did see what was that other one that they did?
The only one I didn't see is Cinderella. I didn't see the Cinderella.
I didn't see Cinderella either.
The Beauty and the Beast.
I've seen parts of Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast is actually pretty good. I don't like the cartoon, the Beauty and the Beast cartoon.
Wow.
I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that.
You are.
T Money's sister actually is like, oh my god, I love Beauty and the Beast. I don't particularly like the story of it. I don't like it, but I did like the live action. It was very. I mean, it was scene for the cartoon. Pretty much, yeah. But it was still good. So that was one of the ones where I was talking about earlier. You know, I went into a live adaptation with very low expectations because I didn't like the cartoon, and I actually turned around and I like the live action better than the cartoon. Right. I think that's how Mulan's gonna be for me. Yeah. I think I'm gonna like the live action more than I like the cartoon. Stuff like Lion King, I'm pretty sure I love them both. Oh, yeah. Aladdin, I went in thinking I was going to hate the live action, and I actually love them both. I love it equally as much to the cartoon. So. Right, like they're different things. And I equally hate Dumbo both ways. So. Damn! Shit. Like, I didn't like the Dumbo cartoon, I don't like the Dumbo live action. I'm weird about circuses, so I think that kind of turned me off to it. Okay. But... I don't know. Little Mermaid looks good from what I can see. Which is nothing besides the casting. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm like, what you can see? It's like you've seen an actress and some fan art. So, yeah. And Disney, make it happen. It has potential. Get Terry Crews to be King Triton. Y'all fucking up. That's a missed opportunity. See, he's my Kevin Hart for you. Like, he plays this big, goofy... Oh, look at me! I can torque my muscles and flex my pecs. Torque my muscles, I love that. Don't hate on Terry Crews. He plays the same part in every movie. He does, and it's always good. All right, get the fuck out. Anyway, all right, moving on.
The fact that no one suggested Leslie Jones play Ursula is a crime. Either her or Guy Fieri. I will accept no other options.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. That's
Wow.
oh God, that hurt my voice. Hello.
Wow.
Welcome to another review brought to you by your lovely in-house band. Yep, so we went and saw Spider-Man Far From Home over the weekend, and we're going to give our review. And if you haven't joined us for one of our reviews in the past, what we normally do is we do non-spoilers at the front and then spoilers at the back. We will make a clear distinction between such, so you will know when you can leave. So if you haven't seen the movie yet and you just want to hear our general thoughts, then you can get that part. And if you have seen it, then you will know once we go into spoiler territory. That being said, the lovely A-Train joins me once again for another review.
Didn't they say A-Train in the movie? Or was that a different movie?
I feel like we did watch something recently where somebody was called A-Train, yeah.
It was either the previews to the movie
Something.
or
yeah.
in the movie itself.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I think it was a preview.
Yeah, but... So, it's weird because you've done a bunch of these with me lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been able to drag you on here to...
Kicking and screaming.
Yeah, I swear. So... Right off the bat, we had a lot of theories going into the movie, and I want your thoughts on, did you get the answers that you were looking for to, how the world has changed since everything that happened in Endgame, and, how is school going to work for them now, and stuff like that? Do you feel like they answered some of those questions adequately for you?
Yeah, I feel like they did.
Okay. So, what was, your biggest question mark going into the movie?
How they were going to address Tony's death.
Okay, that's fair. That's morbid, but that's
well,
fair.
I want to see what they said about it and how they brought it up.
Yeah.
And they did.
No, they made it a point right in the opening sequence of the movie. I won't spoil what it is because it's hilarious what they do, but as soon as the titles come up, they go balls deep into okay, we have to address Endgame and Tony and being gone and Cap and all that.
Yeah.
And I guess spoilers if you still haven't seen Endgame somehow, but whatever.
If you haven't seen that, you shouldn't be watching this.
Right, hell no. Or listening to this podcast or anything else. You need to be watching Endgame is what you need to be doing. There was a lot of stuff, not only just with how it related back to Endgame, but just with where Peter would be at mentally. Not just because of losing Tony, but because how the world has changed so much and how he was dealing with that. Because I wasn't sure, and they don't really establish either how much time has passed since Endgame to this.
I thought they said 5 years.
Well, yeah, because it was 5 years that everybody was gone.
Oh.
But we don't know, is this the very next day after Endgame? Is this a week later, a couple months?
Know.
We know it's less than a year later,
yeah.
But we don't have any other context besides that. I want to talk about the characters. What did you think about Tom Holland this time around as Spider-Man?
I like him as Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
I think it shows the quirky teenager in high school, and
it also helps that he's actually a teenager.
Yeah.
Well, he's in his 20s now, I think,
but it shows how he deals with being a superhero, but also just wanting to be a normal kid.
Right, as opposed to Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield old ass talking about all right, skateboards and I'm a photographer for the school newspaper. I was like, motherfucker, you got a beard. Your 5 o'clock shadow is showing through your movie makeup right now. Shut up with that shit. Okay. So has he grown on you since Homecoming?
Yeah, I think so. I like him better than any of the other Spider-Men.
Yeah. I I still hold a special place in my heart for Tobey as Spider-Man because I grew up with that.
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
I've seen the movies.
Right.
But
you have no attachment to it.
No, not at all.
So no, I will always hold a special place in my heart for Tobey as Spider-Man, but yeah, Tom Holland is definitely my favorite right now.
Yeah.
Because for one, I'm always impressed at his range as an actor because he can be like the, goofy, popping one-liners kids. He can play that shy, awkward shit good. And then when he needs to turn on the waterworks, that boy would cry his ass off. I'd be like, God damn. Like, and this isn't a spoiler. Like, they show it in the trailer, but he's like talking to Happy on the plane, and he's just like, and then Iron Man is gone, and everybody want me to be there, and I don't know what to do. And I was like, God damn. Like, he is crying his ass off. Like, that really endears me to him as that character because I don't know why everybody feels like Spider-Man needs to be crying all the fucking time in the movies, because he don't, like, just weep constantly in the comics or anything, but in the movies, he, like, you need to cry at least once every 20-some-odd minutes of the movie. I'm just saying. But I think he plays it well, and I believe him when he's crying as opposed to everybody else where they're just, like, blubbering and shit, and I'm just like, just cut this shit out. Like, shut the fuck up. Okay, Zendaya as MJ, which I guess we're just going to throw all pretense about the shit they did in Homecoming out the window because people were mad, if you remember when Homecoming came out, because they were like, they're making this black chick Mary Jane and blah, 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 blah,
people
racism.
People be mad about everything.
So, yeah, but when Homecoming came out, they had kept doing this thing of, oh, she's not MJ. Her name is, I think, Monica?
No, is it Maya?
Something. Whatever. Her initials are MJ.
Yeah.
And, or like her middle name is J and then her last name is something different.
Her name was
Regardless
Maya.
to the point, they kept trying to play coy like, oh, this isn't going to be MJ, whatever, yada, 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 but she's fucking MJ. Like, she's the closest thing to a Mary Jane Watson that we're going to get.
Yeah.
But now that we've gotten all that pretense out the way and we're not pretending that she's not MJ and she's officially MJ, what do you think about her character?
I like them two together.
Oh yeah, I think they're really super cute together.
Yeah, they've got
like, it's like annoyingly cute how cute they are together.
They've got a chemistry, but since they are in high school, they're both acting really shy and they're like, oh, I like her, but I don't want her to see that I like her, and she acts the same exact way.
Now, do you think that she was... because some people said that they didn't like the way she came off, like she's too bitchy.
Oh, I didn't think so.
No, I think she fucks with Peter a lot, and she kind of has like a, bite me attitude or whatever, but I don't think she's a bitch or anything.
I don't think so either.
No.
A lot of people say, like, if you're, like, mean to someone...
it means you like them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that holds true to some degree.
Like a playful mean.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, we used to fuck with each other all the time and shit before we started dating. You legitimately did not like me in the beginning, but...
I used to throw highlighters at you.
Yeah. But no, I like Zendaya as MJ. I think that she has a really good chemistry with Tom Holland. I think that she is a strong, independent character, and they don't do her like they did to MJ in the Sam Raimi movies, where she was always like the hostage by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Like every last one of the Sam Raimi movies, the villain kidnaps MJ every single time, and it's just like, God damn, man, like. And I mean, sure, they tried to give her some agency here and there. They'll let her like throw a rock at the bad guy or some such bullshit, but. For the most part, she was just like the love interest and the victim.
Yeah.
Whereas opposed to this, where MJ actually has a character arc to a degree and she has agency in the story. Mm-hmm. And she is an actual well-rounded character as opposed to like a caricature of just like, oh, I like this girl, so yada yada. And I like how they kind of dress Zendaya down as MJ. Like, they don't overly sexualize her, try to make her super hot, because the girl in real life is sexy as shit, but they don't play that up as when she's in character in the movie. Like they don't try
in
to
high school they can't.
Well, shit, you saw how they did fucking what's her face from the Sam Raimi ones? Kirsten Dunst and shit, titties all hanging out and all that shit.
Was he in high school though?
Yeah, in the first one. Because he graduates by the end of it, and he's in college in the second and third one. But then in in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, they always had Gwen Stacy in some little ass skirt and shit. I mean, you know, they didn't do her as bad as they did MJ, but you know, I'm like, in this, they make it a point to be like, hey, like, we want Peter to be attracted to her because of her personality and not necessarily the aesthetic shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got the two main characters out of the way. I like Ned. I'll say that. I've always liked Ned.
I've liked him since the first movie.
I love the little handshake that they do. Like, that shit is, like, dope as hell. Every time I see it, I'm like, we gotta learn that handshake so we can do that shit. But, yeah, no, I think he's funny. I think that they scaled him back a little bit this time.
Yeah,
because I feel like he was in the first one more.
He was in the first one a lot more, and I feel like he was a lot more boisterous.
Yeah, no,
in the first one.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, they definitely scaled him back some. Don't get me wrong, he has a lot of good comedic moments throughout the movie and stuff like that, and he's not like sidelined per se, but they do give MJ and Peter more stuff to do together as opposed to, you know, Ned, because he's got his own little side story going on with some shit, which is actually really funny and cute. But Fury, let's talk about Nick. He was in like top form, I swear, because he was calling out Peter ass like every 5 minutes, like when he's trying to get Peter to help with the creatures that are starting to pop up. You know, Peter keeps making all these excuses about, you know, oh, he's on a field trip and vacation, and he's trying to, you know, get in good with this girl, and you know, oh, he's like, oh, well, I'm just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He's like, bitch, please, you've been to space. That shit, even though I saw it in the trailer already, I still laughed out loud at that part because that shit was fucking hilarious. Like, he would call him out every 5 minutes. He was like, well, Stark made you an Avenger, didn't he, motherfucker? Like
he's like, he hand chose you.
Right. Like, I felt like he was going to turn into his character from Pulp Fiction, like, at any point during the movie, like, say what again? I dare you. Oh, no, he was great. They brought Maria Hill into this. They didn't really hardly do anything with her, though. The other agent.
I was going to say, no, they showed her, like, a few times.
Yeah, she doesn't have anything to do in the movie. Like, honestly, I don't even know why she was there. She was like, I'm just here to collect a paycheck. Like,
pretty much.
She played her part well. She didn't, like, phone it in or anything, but it was just like, she didn't have anything to do. It was just like, I'm standing next to Nick, I guess. That's what I'm doing.
I'm the sidekick.
Right. I say something after he said, and then I just stand there and scowl and shit, and then that's cut. All right, I'm going back to my trailer. I loved Nick in this. I liked the side characters. I really liked the relationship between Happy and Aunt May.
Yeah, me too.
Like, that shit was just like, man, like, Peter, man, you got to get like a repellent for these motherfuckers to get off your auntie, man, because they is on her dick hard. I'm like, Tony was trying to get that ass. Now Happy trying to get that ass. He's like, shit, Tony gone now, so fucking shit. And I'd have been telling Pepper, like, you know, this motherfucker's trying to fuck my aunt, fuck this bullshit, and your daughter. Shit, I don't give a fuck. Shit, he was trying to be my daddy, fuck the bullshit. No, but I liked, and I also liked his relationship with Peter too, because I didn't really care for their relationship in Homecoming. I just felt like he was kind of there just to be an obstacle
from Tony.
Yeah, but I just felt like he was more of an obstacle to Peter than actually like a companion or somebody to help. And in this one, he's much more proactive and like, okay, I'm gonna try to help you to the best of my ability and, you know, get you through this shit. Or as opposed to Homecoming, he's like, I'm gonna tell Tony, you better stop. I'm gonna tell him. I ain't playing. I'm finna call him right now.
Like, Happy was the boss now.
Yeah. He said, look at me. I'm the captain now. So now we can address the elephant in the room, Mysterio. What did you think about Mysterio?
I didn't like his...
Quentin Beck.
I didn't like his character.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I liked the relationship that him and Peter had. I think that he was a good mentor and role model. No, I thought that he was a good role model to Peter and a good mentor, and that he seemed genuinely like he cared about Peter as a person, and he kind of admired him because he says to him at some point, like, never apologize for being the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
Like, he appreciated Peter's intelligence and bravery and stuff, and really seemed to be one of the only people that really understood the burden that Peter has about being a young adult, and well, not quite an adult yet, but a teenager, and having all this power and responsibility, and you see what I did there, and not being able to live his life the way he wants to because he has to be a superhero at the same time. So he has to sacrifice so much of his own life. And I thought that Mysterio did a good job of conveying, like, hey, like, I feel where you coming from. Like, I know this shit is fucked up, man, but we got to go save the world and shit.
I'll probably get shit for this, but I think that's the thing I don't like about the Spider-Man movies. They're always trying to bring in these, like, off-the-wall, like, brand new characters or whatever. They're trying to bring in brand new characters, and I don't know. I don't like it.
Well, what do you mean? Like, explain.
I don't know. I just thought he was weird. Like, he didn't vibe well with me.
Is it because of what his powers are? You don't like the costume or something?
Maybe, but...
I mean, don't get me wrong.
In all the other Spider-Man movies, they do it too. They just bring, like, different creatures and different...
Well, that's
like,
every superhero movie.
I guess. I don't like it.
There's always a new character. That's a bullshit excuse. I'm not going to let you have that one. I don't like that one.
That's why I said I might get some shit for this.
You are going to get shit for this.
I never liked the other characters in the movies. I don't know.
Okay, that's fine.
I mean,
it's just personal taste.
Yeah.
But I think, though, that the way that Jake Gyllenhaal played the different levels to Mysterio's character was really well. Like, once we get past, like, the halfway point through the movie, there's a lot of stuff where he's monologuing about stuff and kind of explaining things. And I was like, I really like him as Mysterio. Like, I was on the fence about it because I was like, he's too damn pretty to be playing Mysterio. I'm like, and they put in a glass bowl in his head. I was like, man, they not finna let that shit stay like that.
See a fish?
Right. And I mean, and still, shout out to Marvel and Sony for actually saying, you know what, we are finna make a comic accurate Mysterio. He finna have a purple cape. He finna fly on green clouds, and he finna have a fishbowl fucking helmet, all right? Like, we going balls deep into the comics, and we ain't shying away from that shit. Because I was like, oh, they gonna make him some kind of Iron Man kind of suit-looking thing and just kind of make it look like a fishbowl a little bit. No, they put him in that suit.
Yeah.
And I was like, y'all go ahead. They did not shy away from it at all. I like some of the developments in the story. I like some of the surprises that we get throughout it. Like, there's actually a couple moments, especially towards the end, where I was like, oh shit, like, I did not see that coming at all. Like, I think that if you're a fan of Spider-Man, if you are a fan of either, like, the cartoon iteration, comics, even the movies, I think not only will you be pleasantly surprised at some of the things that happen in this movie, but I think that you will also feel like this movie, Spider-Man and or Peter as a character, has kind of finally reached that point to where he's a little bit more like the Spider-Man you're probably used to, whether that be the comic book Spider-Man, the TV show, or the movies version, like the Sam Raimi movies. Like, I think that he's finally coming into his own, and like he's actually finally Spider-Man now.
Yeah.
Whereas before he was like still kind of learning to be Spider-Man, but now because he has to take on so much because the Avengers are kind of scattered and a lot of them are gone, he has to step up to the plate and be more than just kind of like this, well, Tony wanted me to be here, guys, so I'm over here shooting webs and shit. Now it's like, no, you are the hero, motherfucker. Like, you are the captain. And I really, really appreciated that, because I feel like there were a few nods, some more blatant than others, to the Sam Raimi era movies, but yeah, I feel like if you're a fan of those movies, and if you're a fan of Spider-Man in general, I think that you will leave this movie happy. It's story-wise, there was nothing about it that I didn't really like. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I mean, it wasn't my favorite Spider-Man movie ever. It's not.
Was it better than Endgame?
No, it definitely wasn't. Yeah, because we saw an ad where they had a quote from somebody that saw it. It was a review, and it was like the best superhero movie of the year, including Endgame. And I'm like, no, it was never going to be as good, let alone better than Endgame. But
there's no Thor.
But the Big Lebowski wasn't in this. No, but I feel like it is not counting Into the Spider-Verse, because everybody loves that movie, but I don't count that one. That is a good movie. I enjoy the shit out of it, but I don't count that in the movie continuity. That's
the
its
cartoon
own
one?
thing.
Yeah.
I don't count that. Though, I would say this is probably my second favorite Spider-Man movie. Spider-Man 2 is still my favorite, hands down, to this day. I'll sit down and watch that movie in a heartbeat. But of all the ones that have come out, this is probably my second favorite, because it did stuff that I didn't expect. I was never bored, and it didn't do anything to break me out of the movie where I was like, oh, that's bullshit. Even though I love Endgame, that rat, I cannot get past that shit. That took me out of the movie immediately, and it took me a minute to get back into it, because I was like, y'all for real just ain't finna acknowledge that. Like, we just gonna go like, that's what just happened, right? Like, we ain't even finna pretend like Doctor Strange didn't put a spell on a rat or something. Nope, he just, fuck it, there you go, Ant-Man. But
I will have to say I wasn't bored at all. I wasn't like, oh.
Yeah, and it was a little over 2 hours, too, so.
Yeah, and I wasn't like, oh, I'm just waiting for this time to go by.
And because I think that they do a good job of still keeping that kind of high school, like 80s, young, romantic comedy kind of thing going in between, like, the main plot stuff and the action scenes and stuff.
And once I got my popcorn, I could fully focus.
Yeah. I loved all the swinging stuff, like all the fights with all the different elemental creatures I thought were really fun, and like how they, like, neutralize them throughout the movie. Like the water one, I like how they figured out how to get him taken down, and all that stuff was really fun. And yeah, just overall, like I just really enjoyed it. Like, I can't think of anything. I mean, there's some nitpicky things I could pick on here and there. Like, I think the scene on the airplane went a little too long, where they're trying to get the seats arranged and all that.
Yeah.
Like, that went on, and the shit in the bathroom and all that. Like, it was cute and funny, but I was just like, okay, guys, let's start fighting some shit. What are we doing? And then, I mean, there was like little stuff where, like, honestly, I don't even know why they put Flash in these movies. Like Flash Thompson, the bully kid. Because I'm like, he's not like the bully like he was in the Sam Raimi ones, where he's like this big jockey, like, beat the shit out of you. He's like the little Indian kid that's always talking shit to Peter.
Oh, yeah. The kid that kept, like, streaming.
Yeah, him. Like, I don't even know why he's even in these movies. Because I was just like, you could just cut that character out.
They could have.
Because he served no purpose.
He served one purpose. That was it.
Yeah, pretty much. And then not only
that was like towards the end.
They kept trying to give him comedic moments and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this ain't really all that funny. Like, they just have this running gag with streaming and shit. And I'm like, I don't fucking care, man. Like, just wrap.
Oh, he's live again.
Right, like, wrap his shit up. Like, I was whatever with him. But yeah, so let's go ahead and give our rating, because there's some stuff in the spoilers I want to talk about. So, Spider-Man Far From Home. We have a 5-tier rating system. It goes...
Really fucking hated it. Hated it. Meh. Liked it. Really fucking liked it.
All right. So, Spider-Man Far From Home. A-Train. What would you give it?
liked it.
Okay.
I'd say I liked it.
Okay. Anything you want to tack on to that?
Nah, not anything more than what I've said already.
Okay. I'm going to say really fucking liked it. I'm in between really fucking liked it and liked it, but I'm more on the side of really fucking liked it. So I'm gonna stick with that. Really fucking liked it. I was a little on the fence because I was like, man, after Endgame, like, y'all got to come with some hard shit. But they do enough spectacle wise to satiate that part of my movie going appetite because I want to see some cool shit. But the story is what kept me in it. Like, I didn't need it to be, a world-ending calamity. Like, they kept the scale just big enough to where there were stakes, but small enough to where it wasn't like the whole universe is like, no, like I didn't need all that. And I cared more about the interpersonal relationships with the characters. I think that's the best part of any Spider-Man movie is the relationships that Peter has with the other characters. Because I think that's the bread and butter of all these movies is you care about him and you care about the supporting cast and you want to know what happens to them. I'm like, all the superhero stuff, all that's good, but you care about these people. Yeah. So you want to see where their story goes. And I think that nailing that is the most important thing to any successful Spider-Man movie. I would say just about any movie in general, but some movies can get away with lighter characters and just, be more plot heavy. Like, I mean, for example, we love the John Wick movies, but I don't fucking really know shit about John. I know he's sad and shit, his wife is dead, but they killed his dog. But other than that, he just killed motherfuckers and shit. Like, the supporting characters get more story than he do. But still, I'm fine with that. This, I think, to have a successful Spider-Man movie, the characters have to be at the forefront. So, all that being said, we are now going to go into spoiler territory. So if you have not seen the movie, get the fuck out of here. If not, you have been warned. So, bitches, this is your chance to get the fuck out of here. So, insert siren sound here. The craziest shit in that whole movie, because we're just going to bounce around the spoiler stuff, is the very end when fucking Peter and MJ swing through the city. He's like, all right, I'm going to piece the fuck out. And then the news comes up and you find out that during that drone fight, Mysterio had been recording something to himself, because remember his like assistant dude was talking to him in the headset and he was like, well, turn off the illusion, this, that, and the other. And he's like, well, I don't know how you're going to spin this and this, that, and the other, but that's what his plan was. That's why he wanted people to see the drone, so then he could record that thing saying, oh, Spider-Man's using these drones to try and kill people and yada, yada, yada. He wants to be the only Iron Man and this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And he was like, Spider-Man's real name is Peter Parker. And I was like, then they put a picture up of him. I was like, damn. Because I was like, you gotta think about it. He's a high school kid in New York. Just saying his name doesn't mean anything to anybody. No. They're like, I don't know who the fuck that is. Like, all right. Who?
Only the people close to him is going to know.
Exactly. So when they threw his picture up, I was like, oh, damn, they ain't even got to search for this motherfucker.
Put him on blast.
They put his ass on mega blast. I was like, damn. And I thought it was weird, too, because the wording that he used when Edith is talking to him in the glasses and she's like, would you like to execute whatever protocol or whatever? He was like, yes, execute them all. And I was like, when he said that, even before the end, I was like, that's a weird phrase. Why would you say it like that? But they made him say it that way so it would sound more like he was like, execute people, like go kill these motherfuckers. And I was like, that was crazy as hell. Like, I love that we're finally, and that's what I meant earlier, that we're finally at a place to where this is the Spider-Man from the comics and the cartoon show. Not so much the movies, but kind of, sort of, where people in New York don't trust him. They think he's a villain, and that's where a lot of his drama comes from, is that he does heroic shit and he saves people, but people don't know what to think of him. And for the most part, they think of him negatively.
Yeah.
And I was really happy to see that. Especially, too, because we got to see him swing through New York. I was like, thank you, because I guess the director was saying that he felt like he needed to earn that. He earned the right to put him in New York swinging through the city and stuff, because we don't ever see him do that in any...
And then he did it with MJ, so...
Yeah, I know, and that made it was perfect.
Scared.
That shit was hilarious. She was like, oh my god, no, don't look!
She was like, we are never doing that ever again.
That shit was great. I was like, oh, that is awesome. And, added bonus, we got J.K. Simmons back as J. Jonah Jameson, and... I even said it in theater. I'm like, I love what they did with him. They updated that character because it doesn't ring true to make him like a newspaper editor anymore. Because it's like, well, newspaper's kind of a dying medium and shit like that. It's like, you know, how many people can he really influence like that?
Yeah.
But to make him like an internet, you know, like talk
Phil.
show host, like made him into like a Alex Jones type conspiracy theorist motherfucker on the internet. I was like, that's perfect. That is perfect, because that is so relevant to today that it feels like, okay, this could happen, because I could see if something like, if superheroes existed and some shit like this popped off, Alex Jones would be on there like, oh, the Trilateral Commission and the globalists trying to turn the frogs gay and Spider-Man's gonna kill you. Like, yeah, like I could totally see all that. What did you think about the reveal when Mysterio turned out to be a bad guy?
I didn't see it coming.
Really? Because leading up to this, I kept telling you, I'm like, he is a villain in the comics. I'm like, this shit is bullshit. Like, I don't know what they trying to pull.
Because when they were in the bar and, like, the room starts to change and whatnot.
When you realize it's an illusion.
Yeah, and everyone starts to, like, cheer or whatnot. He's like, we did it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yep, I knew. As soon as Peter walked out, and the camera kept following him, but didn't leave the bar, I was like, they're going to cut back to Mysterio. And he would be like, and he basically did that shit.
Yeah.
Like, he's standing up on the bar, they cheering and shit. And I was like, oh, yeah, he turned into an instant villain. And I loved how they explained it, because in the comics, Mysterio is like a failed, like, he wanted to be an actor. That didn't work out for him. So then he became like a special effects dude. Mm-hmm. In movies, that's how, because he doesn't actually have any powers at all. It's all illusions and shit.
Yeah.
So he was disgruntled because he got fired from his special effects thing or whatever, and then he decided to use his talents to become a villain. And which was always weird to me. It didn't make sense, because I was like, the shit that he makes as illusions and shit, like, who would not want him on a movie? Like, it was like, could you not, like, at least in this, they changed his origin to where he worked for Tony, and
everyone else he was working with had worked for Tony.
Now, I'm praising how they changed his origin story, because it makes a lot more sense, because it's like, if he could do all that shit, and he said he worked in special effects and got fired from it. Now, I guess if you said he got fired because somebody got hurt because of his negligence or something, then, but you can't say, oh, he's just bad at his job.
Yeah.
It's like, bullshit. This motherfucker made a water monster attack Venice and shit. Like, what the fuck is you talking about? But did it bother you that they kind of did the same thing with the Vulture and Homecoming? Because the whole reason he becomes a villain is because Tony's company comes in and puts him out of a job.
Kind of.
Because he was cleaning up the shit in New York after the aliens attacked, and then he put him out of work, and so he had this whole vendetta against Tony.
Yeah.
And then they kind of did the same thing in this one. That's what I said. It's nitpicky, but I mean, it did kind of bother me a little bit, because I was like, I feel
honestly,
like we
I
told
couldn't
this story.
remember that, so.
Yeah, I was like, I just feel like we've told this story already. But it's fine. There was a new twist on it. I let it go.
New city.
Yeah. What about the whole... Did you enjoy, once he finds out that Mysterio is a villain, did you enjoy the fight between him and Mysterio with the illusions?
It was crazy.
I thought that was like the best part of the movie. Like, that shit was so fun. Because he was like... He turns into like a giant at some point and punches him through like a building. He like strips away all his like costumes and puts him. He was like, "You're just a boy in pajamas and shit." And I was just like, "Wow, like that is crazy." Like, as an audience goer, that was fucking with my mind and shit, because I was just like, man, this shit is crazy as hell. Especially because they kept like incorporating the green smoke every time it would change into something else. And I was like, this is the kind of shit that they do in comics that you just see in a single panel, and you just kind of have to use your imagination of how it all looks moving. And like, they really went all out to make the illusions crazy, like fever dreams and shit almost. Because he's similar to the villain, the Scarecrow from Batman, where he uses fear gas and it makes you hallucinate and see all kind of crazy shit. It's just when they did it in the Batman Begins movie, I just don't feel like they took it far enough, and they tried to make it too realistic. Whereas in this, it's like, oh no, the floor is falling out and fucking towers are coming up around him and shit, and bodies are falling, and it's all kind of crazy shit happening. I'm like, this is what I see in my mind when I'm like, somebody says like a Mysterio illusion. Like, that's the kind of shit that I think of. And I think that was like the best action sequence in the movie. That, and did you like the part where he finally makes it a point to use his Peter tingle, as we're calling it now, his spider sense, when he fights the drones?
Yeah, it made sense that he would, because I don't know where I'm going, but...
Well, because remember, to set it up, like, him and Mysterio are on the bridge, and he has all the drones come at him, and, you know, there's so many of them, and he can't really, you know, maneuver, and then he finally is like, okay, use your Peter tingle.
Yeah.
So he closes his eyes, and he just uses his senses to fight. He kind of pulls a Daredevil.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I'm like, I really, as a fan of Spider-Man, really appreciated the fact that they're finally going like, yes, he has like a sixth sense pretty much, and can react to shit before it happens. So,
well, especially with so many illusions going around him, he needed to know what was real and what wasn't.
Exactly. And I thought that was really cool. Especially too, and that's what I meant about MJ. I liked that she had agency, and like, she was the one that came to him and was like, I know you're Spider-Man. Like, don't play me with this bullshit. I'm not stupid. She's like, motherfucker, like, Spider-Man popped up in Washington and Europe, and you were at both those places, and he's supposed to be in New York. Like, come on, man. And then, two, I like that she basically found the evidence to, you know, like, shatter the whole myth that Mysterio had been building up about himself. And I was like, that's the kind of shit that I want from her character. Like, she's not going to take the spotlight away from Peter, but she serves a purpose, and she has agency. That's all I want for her. And I thought that they did a good job with her in that. Did you pick up, though, on some of the... Because they drop little subtle hints throughout the movie that shit ain't quite right with Mysterio and Nick Fury?
I didn't pick up on the Nick Fury at all.
Okay. All right. So, for example, when I'll start with the Mysterio one first. When they're on the bridge, when the Hydro Man attacks Venice, right before the water starts bubbling up, Peter and MJ walk past his dude, and he kind of looks at him kind of weird. And I'm like, huh, that's odd. Like, that he would, you know, like, look at them like that. But they don't show him again. But you find out he's one of Mysterio's helpers later.
Oh.
Just like we, you know, see the one dude driving the bus.
Yeah.
Well, by that point, we know that they're villains and shit, but there was something fishy about the dude, and I was like, oh, that's kind of weird, but I kind of forgot about it until later, and they show him in the bar, and I was like, oh, okay, that was that dude that was at Venice. I was like, okay. Then, also, real quick sidebar, did Mysterio know that Peter was Spider-Man from the beginning?
He must have.
Yeah, because he shows up at Peter's, like, school thing. Like, when they were on their trip in Venice.
Yeah.
So, because I was just like, did he just so happen to just be there?
No, he must have known, because he had to have known.
Well, think about it. At the beginning, when the first monster shows up, that happens in Mexico.
Yeah.
So that's nothing to do with Peter at that point.
No.
But then the second one shows up in Venice or whatever. So I was just like, well, was it just like a happenstance? Or did maybe Nick Fury tell him that Peter was Spider-Man? Because when he comes to meet Mysterio, he was like, you can take the mask off. He was like, everybody here knows your identity or whatever. Yada, yada, yada. He was like, you would just be feigning anonymity and breathing through spandex or whatever. And I was like, okay. So
I don't know.
I was just curious about that because I was like, I wonder did he know or not. But anyway, and then one of the ones, the little giveaways, that's something right with Nick Fury, because by the end we find out that Nick is in space somewhere doing some other shit, and that this whole time the Skrulls were posing as Nick and Maria. But when he says to Peter, when he's explaining who Mysterio is, he's like, this is Quentin Beck. He was like, but he's not from your world. He doesn't say our world. He says your world. And I thought I thought there was something weird about it, but nothing clicked. Like, why would he say it like that? But
yeah. The Skrulls aren't from Earth.
Exactly. Because he's saying to Peter, he's like, oh, Quentin's he's from another world, not your world.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, maybe he's just saying it like that for him specifically. I don't know. It was weird, but yeah. So, and there's other little things that they say and do throughout the movie where I think if I was to sit and watch it a second time, I'd pick up on it more and be like, oh, okay, I see why that happened now or why they said it this way and yada, yada. But yeah, he says your world to Peter.
Yeah, I was
like,
that.
Oh, okay, all right. No, I mean, overall, I really respected what they did. And I was just worried that it was going to kind of be like selling the villain short because all those creatures that they fight in the comics, they are their own separate thing. Like, they have characters and names and all that kind of shit. And this is just like, it's a lava monster. And I was like, I don't know if... I didn't know how I was going to feel about that, but I thought it was fine. Because, okay, for example, the water one, Hydro Man. In the comics, he can turn completely into water, but he still has on, like, pants and a t-shirt.
What?
With, like, water arms, so it's like... it's like, wait, what? It's kind of dumb. And, like, and you've seen the Sandman from Spider-Man 3, so you kind of had that with the rock monster and shit, so... Yeah. But I feel like they used them to good effect to be able to see him fight these creatures and stuff, but they didn't. Those characters are kind of just dumb, and it's like, man, like we don't need to develop all this shit with them. Like, just make them some kind of faceless, mindless monsters, and Mysterio will be the main character. Rah. Yeah, but I was kind of upset though because I never bought into Mysterio's bullshit the whole movie because I'm like, he gonna turn on him. Like, I thought either one or two things was going on with Mysterio. Either A, it was all bullshit, which it was, or B, maybe he was from a different dimension, and in that dimension, Mysterio is a good guy, and then something happens while he's over here that makes him turn bad, or the version of him on Earth here gets his powers or whatever, and then he becomes bad.
Oh, like in The Flash?
Yeah, exactly. So I thought it might be some shit like that. No, it was all bullshit.
He was an asshole through and through.
Yeah. But I did like his character enough to where I wanted it to be true. I was never convinced. Like, the whole time I'm like, I'm just waiting for him to turn. Like, this, I know better. I ain't stupid. I know he ain't shit. But I wanted to believe it was true. He made me like his character to the point where I was like, I could see him being on the Avengers. Like, he could totally be like another Doctor Strange or some type shit like that. His powers are cool. She's like, fuck him and that green smoke. She said, if it ain't no weed smoke, I don't want to see no green smoke on the screen. If Snoop Dogg ain't walking out this bitch, I don't give a fuck. No. But I mean, any last spoilery things that you want to address that we maybe haven't brought up yet? Oh, we didn't talk about Ned's relationship. What did you think about that anyway?
I feel like it's like the typical either like middle schooler or like high school thing to do.
Yeah. It's like, we started dating on our vacation.
Like our 8th grade field trip.
Right. And then we broke up by the time we made it back home. I was like, damn. Well, they seem to both be taking it well. It was like, okay,
it was very mutual. They just wanted to be together for someone to hang out with.
Yeah, like,
the whole trip.
Like, I'm just doing me. Yeah.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, no, I still think that the airplane changing seat shit went too long, but still.
And then the teacher, the chaperone, whatever, he was...
Oh, go ahead, finish your thought.
I thought he was dorky as all get out.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, and that's another thing, too. They kept cutting back to the teachers, cracking lame-ass jokes and shit, both of them. And I was just like, he was like, from a scientific standpoint, witches. I was like, man, what is this shit, man? Like, cut all that shit out.
He couldn't say bitches.
Right. But we are forgetting about a character who just got dead so grimy the whole movie. Or by the end of the movie. The Asian kid that was trying to bang MJ.
Oh,
the one who takes the picture of Peter with his pants off.
Yeah.
Man, they did him so dirty by the end. They was like, yeah, man, you're being really weird taking pictures of people in the bathroom, and, you sound like you're obsessed in this, that, and the other. And what's fucked up is MJ know the truth, but she threw his ass under the bus quick. She was like, yeah, I don't even like you like that. I don't know why you keep following me around and shit. And you taking pictures of Peter in his drawers, and she's like, I don't know, we might have to call the authorities. Like, I was like, damn. Y'all did him dirty as hell. What, just because he was the rival love interest? Like, he had to do him like that. And everybody was hating on him because he didn't get blipped, as they called it in the movie.
So he was 5 years older than the rest of them.
Right. And it was like, yeah, 1 minute he's a little kid, now he's all ripped and this, that, and the other. I was like, y'all just a bunch of haters, motherfucker. That's what's wrong. Yeah. Oh, also, another nitpicky thing. I thought that the drone trying to attack the bus was stupid. I thought that scene was dumb. And the fact that Peter's like, oh, look, baby llamas or and then he
mountain
jumps out the top of the bus and shoots the webs to blow up the drone. And I'm like, so the bus driver ain't see that?
Like, no one saw you do that.
No, everybody looked out the window.
How was that window, or how was that, window even open?
Well, yeah, him jumping through the top of it. Yeah, and it's like nobody heard that.
Because usually on buses, you can only push it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so that part
that was really unbelievable.
Was kind of obnoxious and unnecessary.
It's not a sunroof.
Yeah, like honestly, they could have just had him shut it down through the glasses and just make it crash in the background.
Exactly.
Like, they didn't have to have him jump in slow motion and shoot the webs. It looked cool, but it didn't really. It wasn't necessary. It was too much. Thank you for doing this with me once again.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it, babe.
No problem.
Thank you for staying and listening to another one of our reviews, and we will see you guys next time. That is it for the show. Remember, you can always find us at our home on giantleapforgeeks.libsyn.com. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, or anywhere else you get your podcasts. Make sure to show us some love, so go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, rate, follow, review us, and all that shit.
And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, or criticisms, or, you just want to say hi, you can always email us at officialodlfg@gmail.com. You can also find us as a show on Twitter at giantleap4geeks. Myself, DJ Millymel, I am on Twitter at FroggyBeaver, and our missing Benoit is on Twitter at Benoit Gaming, BNWAH Gaming. The show is also on Facebook, Reddit, Instagram. I myself am on Facebook, but please don't stalk me. And all you have to do to find the show is search for One Giant Leap for Geeks. Okay, you guys have a good night. Bye.